Good day, distinguished representatives of the media, distinguished citizens, ladies and gentlemen. After the official welcoming ceremony, the tete-a-tete and bilateral meeting, allow me to open the joint press conference of the President of the Government, Mickoski, and the President of the European Commission, Madam von der Leyen. President, I invite you to take the floor. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Distinguished President of the European Commission, Madam von der Leyen, distinguished representatives of the media, ladies and gentlemen, allow me in the very beginning to express my sincere appreciation to the President for her visit and the constructive dialogue we had today. Our meeting was of exceptional importance for the future and for the future dynamic of the European integrations, which are top strategic interest and priority as well as objective for the Western Balkan regions. We remain firmly committed as a government on our path towards full-fledged membership into the European Union. Our vision is clear. We want to be part of the European family, sharing the same values of democracy, rule of law, and respect for the human rights. We are aware that in front of us we have significant challenges. The reforms we are implementing in the areas of the judiciary, fight against corruption, economic development and reinforcement of the institutions are key for our future. These changes are not only the condition for membership into the European Union, but they are necessary for the improvement of the standard of living of all citizens. The government highly values the efforts of the President for EU enlargement as soon as possible. In these conditions of geopolitical situations and changes throughout the world, our country remains stable and credible partner of the European Union. But we expect that the European Union, together with us, to assist in finding ways how to continue our Euro integration path. At the same time, understanding the legitimate views of our citizens that in future we will not face requests that are deeply opposite to the ideas and the values on which the European Union rests. We expect that the European Union will acknowledge our progress and will continue providing support in this process. The support is very important. We believe in the principle of fair approach and merits. And at the same time, we believe that our continuous efforts will be appropriately assessed. The goal is clear, but the way to it requires joint efforts, cooperation, dialogue, and mutual understanding. These are of essential importance. We are convinced that together we can overcome all obstacles, we can build a better future for our citizens. In the very end, I would like to express appreciation to the President of the European Commission and to express my gratitude for her personal commitment and support. I'm looking forward to continuing the cooperation and to accelerating our path to full-fledged membership into the European Union. Thank you. Thank you, President. Now I invite the President of the European Commission to take the floor.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister dear Christian. Thank you very much. We had a very good meeting and an excellent exchange of views. It is very good to hear that you are so committed to your accession path towards the European Union. North Macedonia has come a long way, and you have shown determination on every step. And I want to praise North Macedonia and pay tribute to North Macedonia and its people. Now the work must continue. I also want to pay tribute to the fact that you are 100% aligned to our common foreign and security policy. I want to thank you and North Macedonia for the staunch support of Ukraine. Many, many fields where there's an excellent cooperation, and I really want to thank for all that. We have a very clear goal in sight, and this is to open the fundamentals cluster as soon as possible. We're almost there. We know it's about the constitutional change that your country committed to implement. And as you said, now we need joint effort, cooperation, and dialogue. I hope that all political forces in the country will come together to take this decisive step forward. And I am convinced, like you, that we can overcome the obstacles that are still there. Dear Christian, rest assured that enlargement will remain a top priority for the European Commission in the next 5 years. We have now all the necessary tools and all the necessary instruments in place to make this happen. My first point is on the growth plan for the Western Balkans. It is our common roadmap to bring the economies of the Western Balkans closer to ours and to gradually integrate our economies. You know the approach. We open basically the door of our European single market in specific sectors for companies, for example, from North Macedonia. In turn, you will implement important reforms to have a level playing field. And these reforms are accompanied by additional investment by the European Union in North Macedonia. It has been a year now since we started, and I must say the Western Balkan countries have delivered and their reform agenda ready. So does North Macedonia. North Macedonia has done a great job. It's an excellent reform agenda that we have there. And now we should be able to start with a pre-financing of 52 million euros by the end of the year. And overall, North Macedonia will receive more than 750 million euros under the growth plan. The growth plan, and we've discussed that, will deliver very concrete result for the people. For example, you are on a good track to become part of the so-called single euro payment area for the next, as of the next year. This means for business and people that transfer of money between North Macedonia and the European Union will be faster, more secure, and free. So it will be of big benefit for both citizens and your businesses. The second initiative I want to mention is our common investment plan for the Western Balkans. It's now 4 years in place and it's delivering steadily. In North Macedonia, the plan has already mobilized 1.7 billion euros of investment, and it will focus on the clean energy transition. As you know, in the European Union, we have committed to be climate neutral by 2050. So it is very important that our Western Balkan partners join us on this journey. And here in North Macedonia, renewables account for a quarter of power generation. So we are working on projects to boost the renewable capacity. We have the Oslo-May and the Bitola solar power plants, for example. I hope I pronounced it more or less correctly. Exactly. As well as the Bogdanci wind park. And we are also investing in clean transport for better connectivity across the region and with Europe. And this indeed includes the very important project of the railway corridor 8, connecting you with Albania and the West and Bulgaria, to the West and Bulgaria to the east. It also includes, this one corridor, it also includes the corridor 10, running from Greece to Budapest and crossing your entire country. These investments will turn North Macedonia into a key transport hub. And this will have huge benefits for the citizens of North Macedonia. My third point is our very fruitful cooperation on border protection. North Macedonia is the 5th country outside the European Union to host Frontex Joint Operation Team. For the past 2 years now, more than 100 European border guards have supported local authorities to carry out the checks and surveillance. And for us it is so important because one day the borders of North Macedonia will become the external borders of the European Union. So we have to prepare now to get ready for that common future. My last point is another very important aspect of our cooperation, which is the disaster response. This summer, North Macedonia, like several European member states, was hit very hard by raging wildfires. And we know that natural disasters are occurring more and more frequently all over our continent. This is the harsh reality of climate change. But we are fighting it with our best assets, and that is European solidarity. We are extending to our Western Balkan partners the very same solidarity measures that we have inside the European Union. We activated, for example, the civil protection mechanism twice over the summer for North Macedonia. We mobilized 6 aircraft and 3 helicopters provided by the member states and Serbia, because this is basically what it means to be a good neighbor, to be a partner, and to be a future member of the European Union. Dear Christian, I'm, as you know, visiting North Macedonia on a regular basis. And I remember very well 3 years ago, it was a special moment when we were celebrating the 30th anniversary of your country. And I met young people at that occasion, and it was heartwarming, we know that, how much they are aspiring and longing for their common future. The young people in the European Union, the young people in the Western Balkans, the young people in North Macedonia. And I think the young people would never forgive us if we wouldn't rise to the challenge. So we are decided to deliver in our generation and to make it happen that North Macedonia will be part of our European Union. Thank you very much.
Distinguished President of the Government, distinguished President of the European Commission, thank you for your statements. Now we will start with the questions from the media. We will have one question to the President of the Government and one question to the President of the European Commission. Question for the President of the Government. I have a question to Prime Minister Mickoski. Does the European delegation show any will for your plan for constitutional amendments with postponed activity? And did we get any guarantees that if the Bulgarians become part of the constitution, we will not have any new requests? Thank you for the question. I think that the President was very clear and concise in her statement. We need to work. We need to work tirelessly in order to reach the goal. And of course, the goal is for the region and us to be part of the European family and the European Union. We as a government will continue to share the European values. We will do anything in our power to bring the European Union closer to the citizens, something that is our task, but also our will, because more than 75% of the people see their future as part of the European family. And being the first person in the government, I will continue working exceptionally in the interest of the people and what is their first priority. And of course, their first priority is living better, rule of law, achieving reforms, the European values to be part of our everyday lives, but at the same time, they want the pride, the dignity to be protected so that we are not defeated. And I think that if we have some good synergy of everything what I mentioned, I think that we will reach the final goal. And the final goal is to be member of the European family as soon as possible. Thank you. My question is to Madam von der Leyen. don't you think that the conditioning of Macedonia to make the constitutional amendments, a practice that is not known for any EU member state, leads to discrimination of the citizens of Macedonia and thus poses danger of Euroscepticism, and thus the European Union accepts constitutional amendments with postponed action? Thank you.
So thank you very much for that question. We will help to implement the commitment North Macedonia took as a sovereign state on every step of the way. For me, it's very important we have a very clear goal. I'm working as hard as possible that we can open the negotiations on the fundamentals cluster. That's our short-term goal we want to reach now. And indeed, the constitutional change has to be worked on. For me, it's very important. It is, of course, in the interest of North Macedonia that we are successful. And therefore, I want to reaffirm and reassure you that we will have every step of the way forward so that we can get to our common goal. You can count on us. And for me, it's important that we do not look too much to the past, but that we look to the future. And we want to write the next chapter together of our common future.
Thank you. We are now closing today's press conference. Thank you all for your attendance.